We're in, look, you can have a look. And obviously, straight off the bat, if you know what you're sort of looking at when you see puffballs, is you instantly recognise this puffball, these puffball features, except they're growing in clusters. And as we see, they've got all the characteristics of a puffball. They're round, sometimes they're like scaly. And these are nice little edibles, as long as you cut them into open and they're white inside. That's just dust from the outside, that is. But if they're white inside and they haven't gone to spore yet, which means these can be taken and harvested. So this looks like it's starting to turn a bit yellowy to me. So I would eat that, but I'd question it. So I'd probably take a few of these younger ones, to be fair. But yeah, stump puffball. Keep your eye out for them. They grow on wood like this. Obviously this is a stump, isn't it? It's a fallen log. Usually this tree is known for wood ears. But I've come up this time and the stump puffball, so I'm going to harvest a few and take them home and make some wild mushroom on top.
Like this?
Yeah. There's the bag.
My bike.
Sweet chestnuts. A prickly snack, but well worth it. Plenty of protein. And as you can see, this time of year, they are just in abundance.
The shiny one, isn't it?
They're everywhere, they're just everywhere. But we're only picking a few while we're out. We've just come out on a little bike. Oh, that's a beauty in there. Nice, these little ones. Nice. Well worth it if you can find them. Let's continue, guys.
Let's go.
Let's go. Right, so here we have what's known as the yew tree, and we can tell it's a yew tree, and it looks like many other like spruce species and stuff like that, but it's not, because if you look at the stem, its leaves come out opposite. They don't come out underneath. They come out each side like this, so we know that is a yew tree straight away. Also, what can tell us is these little berries, because we're actually in fruiting season now, so we're just getting into autumn. The berries are ripe. One thing to know about this tree is it is extremely toxic. So if you find a mushroom growing on this type of tree, then do not pick and eat it. Even if it is an edible, do not pick and eat it, because it can transfer toxicity to the mushroom through its food source. So, but an interesting thing about the yew tree is the berries are edible. So if you eat the berry flesh, you cannot eat the stone. And it's important that you spit that stone out. The berries are very sweet, tasty, like almost a bit cranberry-ish, and I'll bring you in there. See this little, you have this little stone in there, you see?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is toxic. That will poison you. That if you start cracking them with your teeth, or you swallow them, you know, you could very well poison yourself very easily. Spit the stone out. Do not crack it, okay? So obviously they are edible. Don't chew the stone, yeah? Alright, get the flesh off. So they are edible and they're safe to eat. And like I said, with mushrooms that are on the bark or feeding off like maybe the root systems nearby, I wouldn't really pick, even if they were edible. Another interesting fact is that they used to use yew trees for bows because they grow really straight branches and really flexible and strong. So yeah, they used to make bows out of yew trees. So if you ever need to craft a bow, find a yew tree and get a nice log off it, like. Is these called a velvet bolete, and if you come in here we can see the pores underneath there as well. I see slightly different. See how they same character, same family of mushroom, and this is very velvety on top, and this is also an edible. But next to it we found another type of a bolete, and this is a bit damaged, but it's a slippery jack. And if you come with me down here, yeah, it looks very similar, found in a similar area. The caps are different. If you come and see how the caps are different. Slippery jack, slimy, and its spores are a different colour. They're yellowy, but you see how they turn in that blue colour where they've been bruised. And these here, and this, quick look at it. You look at it, it's slippery, slimy on top. It's got pores underneath. It's a bolete. It's definitely a bolete. And I think it's called a Silosis letusus or something like it. It's definitely a bolete. So obviously, like with the rule of thumb, as I've learned from other foragers who do boletes, is if there's any blue or any red, which there isn't, there's clearly no red on the stem, no red on the cap, there's no blue in when I cut it, but you do get this yellowy colour. Now these are it's full of water. Also, no maggots have made its well into this. These are edible. You have to peel. If they say if you peel the top off, they're better. And you can see you can just take the top off, and I would take the gills off as well. But if you peel this slimy bit off, you get a nice mushroom. And these are used in stews and soups, stuff like that. So I'm guessing it's probably a good thickener mushroom. It's a good edible, but I'm guessing it's better as a thickener. And as you can see there, so now as we start to break down the mushroom, you can see these pores here. So if we can remove the gills, and again, leave the gills, leave the pores where you found them, or take them to another woodland that's similar like this, you know, and put them somewhere else and spread them round. Yesterday we didn't record it, but we found some bay bullets, and we took them back and we cooked them and ate them last night. And I went out, took the dogs some up this morning, and I spread them round in another woodland by mine because it was a similar environment. So hopefully next year we're increasing that. Yeah, as you can see, so you can see why it's soups and stews really. It's a very slimy mushroom. It's very thingy, but I reckon it would be good as a thickener because it's already starting to break down now in my hands, and it holds a lot of juice. So yeah, Silosis letusus or letusus,
something like
I'll
that.
have to get that Latin word down. You know me, I'm not great for the Latin words, but I'll find out. So yeah, and right guys, once again we found something else which is a first for me as well. It's this stemmed puffball. Now I'm going to pick it because I've seen some others. But this, it feels good. But this is a stemmed puffball, and look at the size of that. Like we picked some stump puffballs before, and then we've just found this beauty before, just now. So we know with all puffballs we can eat them as long as they're not black inside. This is not. This is nice and firm inside, so I'm not going to cut. Tell you what, I'll cut it open just to show you. So we like all puff balls, they're only edible when they're white inside. Good sign. Look at that. Winner, winner, puff ball dinner. So that is going straight in the bag. I'll leave this because this also contains spores inside there. These are spores. Like, I'll put there like that and just let that go back in. Right. But one thing we've also found as well. There is one for the pot. So while as we walking, we're getting our bikes down the trail, we notice these. And anybody notices mushrooms like these who are foragers instantly think, oh, could it be? But they're not. They're not chanterelles. They're false chanterelles. And you can see they're false chanterelles because if you look at the gills, hang on. The gills are very, very crowded, which means they're all very close together. They're all nicely, neatly packed together. And that is not a chanterelle, and it is very orange. And also, if we split the thing in half, it'll be orange down the centre. So, see if we can get it in half. Oh, bit of a mess. But you see, it's got a sort of a hollowy stem as well sometimes, but it's orange in the middle, it's not white, and when I say white it'll be white. So keep your eye out for these ones because they're not edible, but they do mimic a very edible mushroom. And here we are, we found something else. Now this is what I understand is a brown rolled rim. I could be mistaken, but I don't think I am, but I could be. But if you see something like this, it's very similar to this. You see you got the roll on the rim as well. Crowded gills, rolled rim. Poisonous. So avoid that one, but they're in a lot with those boletes, the slippier ones. They look a bit similar, similar colours, so just be careful and don't. What else we found here? We get close to it. This miner's lettuce. This grows on the side of like rocks. I mean, if you have a look up on the side of this cliff rock up there, you can see it growing out. See it? And all there behind me on the moss. We'll go over and have a look. But they like to grow on the side of stuff. A lot where it's mossy, so I'm guessing they like a lot of water. They are quite full of moisture, and they are edible, and they're really succulent as well. But this is like, I don't know, closest thing I can describe it is an appley cucumbery taste. Depending on the maturity, the little ones taste, the little leaves taste slightly less tasteful really, if I'm honest. But yeah, miner's lettuce, another good edible. Eat them on yourself. I actually took a bunch home and ate them on my sandwiches before. But if we just have a look over here, I'll show you the habitat. This is all sandstone. It's all very wet. Zoom in. You can see how it grows. So it grows all on this rock face here. So obviously the water trickles down and it gets the nutrients, and it's a really nice tasty plant, if I'm honest. It's a good trail snack. If you're out and about, you see them, have a nibble. Very tasty. And there's another tasty edible which I quite like. And everyone knows this one. And this is called the dandelion. And there you can see some of the roots actually just come off. But see the dandelion root there. And people use dandelion roots as a coffee substitute. So you dry it out, grind it up, and it's a good coffee substitute. Also, it's packed full of vitamins and minerals. Dandelions are one of the most walked past nutritional things you'll ever find in your life. The properties of a dandelion are immense, and you know, just eat these little leaves. The younger leaves are the tastiest, and they just take a bit like lettuce. The older leaves, they start to change their taste. You start to get all that, that's how I can describe it, just like, you know what I mean. But yeah, the younger ones, nice in salads, good salad green, and the fact that they just carry on all year round. You can use the leaves, the flowers for teas, the leaves for teas, the roots for teas or coffees, and it's said to have anti-cancerous properties. They've studies on it now, and they can actually help the fight against cancers in the body. So yeah, a misunderstood, very walked past nutritional herb. You know, you can't really ignore the dandelion. I'm going to take this root, take this one as well. And there are still in abundance dandelions, but I'll take these and I'll make something. I'll grind them up and chuck them in a soup.
Nice.
See one that big?
This has got to be the biggest bolete I have seen. Look at it for a comparison. Here's my foot. Now I've got size 9 feet. That's huge. That is huge. And I think, I do not want to even break it, like I don't want to take it or anything. Put it down now, it's velvety on top. Could be a velvet bolete. We'll have to look at that one, but it's absolutely ginormous. What I find. So here we found some horse mushrooms. We've just found these in the field. See? I'm going to bring them over to you, look. As you can see, they're slightly scaled on the top. Sometimes they don't always have to be scaled. Crowded gills. It used to have a skirt, but these usually come off, and they don't grow out of a sack, even though they are part of the Agaricus family. The Agaricus family usually grow from an egg sac. These don't, however. The younger ones have pinky to grey gills. These are also, but they develop and they go darker, so you can also almost see the reminiscence of the pink in the gills. But these are the younger ones, and this is the bigger one. So horse mushroom, another good edible if you can find, but make sure you ID it properly because it is an Agaricus and you do not want to get caught out. So yeah. These are the horse mushrooms in their environment, just in the fields. See them sticking up. Good find. And here we have what we found. These is called sulphur tufts, and if you come up close here and have a look. We've got some here. They grow like this. They grow like this. Yeah, clustered straight out the bottom of rotted wood. But if you look at them, the sulphur, if you look underneath, they've got this it's like really iridescent greeny yellow, and this is what gives them their name, really, is because it looks like sulphur. These are toxic, so don't eat these, stay away from them. You'll see them, they are quite common. I seem to find them everywhere, if I'm honest. It's a shame they're not edible. But like I say, they are a pretty mushroom. They're a quirky one. They've got some nice colours on. But just look at it, appreciate it. Don't eat it. It's not for the pot.